here are the slides you got to know. They're over there. And this is the location, A3L. A, B, or C, because we got 3 boxes over there. The 3, or the number, the 9, 5, that's the tray number. Got trays over here. Pull out tray 1, okay? Then when you pull out the trays, there's left and right. So that's the L and the R. And yeah, I mentioned this because sometimes a lot of students put it away incorrectly, and I don't want you to grab the wrong slide from the right location on our lab Friday, so we'll keep that in mind. So you have the locations, grab it from the right location, but make sure you got the right slide. Just saying. To see histo, it helps to turn the lights off in the front. I gotta clean my desktop. Okay, I'm gonna get some lens cleaner here and wipe off all the dust particles on our slides. And I'll start the software so you can see what I'm looking at under the microscope. You don't have Daniel Slusky for 430? Yeah, a couple people. Yeah, he uses the scope camera too, I think. I use it a lot too for 430 and 431. So that's what I'm using here. It's just an easy way for me to show you our slides, and I can take pictures and we'll use those for the quiz. Let me show you what I see here. The software is called Infinity Analyze. Try to make the picture as clear as I can, but when I take pictures and upload it, what we're doing, you can get a better look. Out the way here. Let me go in order there. Let me do the thyroid parathyroid slide first. The proper way to use the microscope, start with low mag. I know it's hard to see with the lights off. I'll turn them on periodically, but when I use a microscope, I use 3 magnifications, low, medium, high. There's a higher one, but don't go past my high, which is 400x. You get to 400x, you can see cells. Our medium magnification will be 100x. Low mag, what you see there, 40 times magnified. This is thyroid parathyroid. These 2 glands are right next to each other, and you can see both on this shot of low mag. See the purple splotch here? Those are chief cells. That's the parathyroid gland. On your study guide, it says chief or principal cells, and on today's quiz, the hormone they secrete is PTH. Okay? So under low mag, I might say identify parathyroid gland. Okay? I might say, what kind of cells are in here? Chief cells. There's other kinds. You only have to know chief cells because it's the chief cell. There's oxyphil cells. You're not responsible for those. Now, the rest of this tissue over here is the thyroid. And the thyroid has a follicular arrangement, not to be confused with the follicles of the ovary that we just learned. Okay? And so we see some really big ones here. And we see much smaller ones of the thyroid follicle. Let me turn the lights on so you look at what I have on the board. I haven't taught this yet. The thyroid secretes thyroid hormone. However, it's unusual. It stores the main hormone that's inactive in the middle. It doesn't store it intracellularly. The follicle cells make what's called thyroglobulin, inactive thyroid hormone, because to make it active, you need iodine. But cells can't synthesize elements of the periodic table. You have to get it through your diet, right? So it has to extract iodide from your blood. That's why you have table salt sodium iodide, so you make sure you have plenty of it. And we'll learn the physiology of that on Friday. But anyways, you should be able to identify colloid, the whole thing's a follicle, or just the individual follicle cells around it. Outside the follicle are parafollicular cells, I call it in blue here, or C cells. C means clear because histologists thought the cytoplasm was a little more clear than other cells. They secrete a hormone called calcitonin, helps regulate blood calcium levels. Okay. Well, anyways, here's the things you gotta know. This cell, C cell, follicle cell, colloid. Let's kind of look here. Before I move away from the Lomag, I think I'll take a picture of that. Pull up my chair. Oh shoot, I gotta get my mouse handy so I can do this. Bear with me here. I have a less than professional setup here to make this better. Bam. Got that. Okay, let's go to a higher mag. Medium magnification is 100. Let's go to 400. See the colloid? I color it red. It's not really red here. I'm going to zoom around, scan around. That's not bad. I'll take a picture of that. Right, 400x. I'll give you the images. Don't ask me to label them for you. I won't do that, but I think you guys can do that. If I say identify this whole thing, what are you going to put? Thyroid follicle. Okay, that should be sufficient. What is this stuff in the middle? Identify cell. Follicle cell surrounding it. But what if I point to like a clump of cells outside the follicle? C cells or parafollicular cell. Okay. All right, that's what we do for that. Got that. So we move on to hypophysis, pituitary. So always you go back to low. Put the stage all the way down. Move the slide, go to the next one. I'm saying all this because we're going to have a microscope lab on Friday. I kind of like students see me do it, and you should do it the same way. You'll have a lot of success if you're not used to scopes. And then the mag. You don't have this magnification. This is 20x, not 40x. I got it, you don't got it on your scopes. That's okay. Taking a picture for you. Picture of that. You have this big divide here, there's nothing, but that's pit, anterior pituitary. See this darker tissue here, pars intermedia? This is posterior pituitary down here, followed up infundibulum, okay? So infundibulum up here, the lighter stained tissue. If I point down here, posterior pituitary. Pars intermedia, anterior pituitary, that's what you got now. Moving on. Pancreas. Let's see. Behind the stomach. Now, pancreas is chiefly for exocrine function and digestion. The endocrine function is what we're concerned with here. Helps regulate blood sugar. It secretes insulin and glucagon. There are little clumps of cells, and they're little islands of cells. So they're called islets of Langerhans. That's what's on your study guide. You can either call them pancreatic islets. The older term is islets of Langerhans, and that's what's on this slide. Make a note to yourself on Friday's lab. Get the slide that says islets of Langerhans. Some slides just say pancreas. They're not stained as well. So we're looking for the pancreatic islets. A lot of blood vessels in the pancreas. See that? Boom, boom, boom. Those are probably blood vessels. We're not concerned with that. All of this is exocrine tissue, but we're looking for little patches, little clumps of cells that stain a little bit differently from all this dark tissue. That's our endocrine function. I think I see stuff here. I'm going to zoom in. This is 20x. I'm going to go higher now. I want to take a picture of this. 40x. Here's 100x. That's an okay one. I'm going to go to 400x here. That's pretty good. So what stands out to you? The thing in the middle? Yeah, that's it. See how it's a clump of cells? You can see the little nuclei there? That's pancreatic islet. That's what you would identify for the pancreas. Those cells secrete insulin and glucagon. Okay, adrenal gland. You know, while I'm thinking about it, you do have a histology quiz Friday. So Friday could be double quiz day if you have a pop quiz in the morning. I have been known to do that, just saying. I know you like to play these games. Oh, he's giving us a histology quiz. We're not having another quiz. I don't know. I don't know. Just want to be fair. I want to give you fair warning. You could have another pop quiz. I think that's good enough. Let me see if we can go to another place, see if it looks better. No, this is good enough. This is a low magnification. Adrenal gland. So I'll point it out to you. Here's what I see. Here's the border between cortex and medulla. So if I point to there and say identify adrenal medulla. This is all cortex. That top thing is capsule. Okay, so this is the zone. Let's go through the zones. Zona Glomerulosa, Zona Fasciculata, Zona Reticularis. That's it. Moving on. Ovary. This is low mag. Let's go to 100x. Here's medium magnification. That's pretty good. Take a picture of that. So we're looking at cat ovary. Works better. We have human ovary slides, but as a teaching thing, the cat one is better. We have different follicles. All the ones on the outer edge of the cortex, call them primordial. Primordial follicles in the cortex. That one right there, I classify that as primary. This one, this big one here, I can even see on this low magnification, theca granulosa cells, and there's a nice oocyte inside. That's graphian. I see no secondary, so let me look around. As you go to a low mag and I scan around, you get a wider aspect. Oh, there's some good ones. Let's go to 400. This is 400x. Blue for white balance. I don't know much. That's okay. Okay, I think we can use this. This is a 400x, so don't let the magnification fool you. Primordials at a higher mag, that's what they look like. Primary, I see a single layer of cuboidal cells surrounding the oocyte. This one here, you have more layers. Therefore, that's secondary. This one with little fluid around it, also secondary. You can even start to see granulosa cells, theca cells. But let's go to a graphium to look at that. Take a little more picture here for you. We're looking at here, that is the oocyte inside a graphian follicle, right there. Here are granulosa cells, that's theca cells. Right, these are the ones that secrete the androstenedione. Transfer to here, converted to estrone under aromatase activity. Okay, got that. One more slide, testes. Go back to little man, lower the stage. Rat testes is what we got here. With a low magnification, I'll show you what I see. I see some blood vessels here, here, and here. All the black stuff are red blood cells. That's how they stand on this slide. The thing I want you to identify are the interstitial cells. See them all like in between the seminiferous tubules? Here's a tube. All the cells around it are the cells that secrete testosterone. So let's go to a higher magnification. This is 40. Here's 100. Let's go to 400. All right, so what we're looking at here, seminiferous tubule, you can see the developing sperm and the lumen there. Here's the interstitial cells on the outside. That's a blood vessel, not concerned with that, but you do need to know testosterone travels in the bloodstream. I will post all of these images by this afternoon on Canvas, okay? So you can study them for your histology quiz on Friday. Question?
Will you point out the tubules again?
The what? Yeah, seminiferous tubule. Or there's an edge of one there, there's an edge of one there. Okay? Class dismissed. I'll see you Friday.